And one of the biggest problems that we face in this society, and one of the biggest problems that's allowed all of this to be created around us, is, of course, the monetary system. And it isn't the money itself, although the money is a big problem. But rather than the money itself, it's the imposition of a monetary system over human consciousness, which has served to turn the human life experience into commerce. And it really is insidious in so many ways, folks, because what the money system actually does, not only does it turn people's lives into commerce and force people into a position where they have to pay to be alive, but it also removes from them the opportunity to give to others, because everybody always must be working to achieve an income, so they're financially secure. And this takes away people's ability to give. But really, if you can put all that aside and start giving of yourself to people and start giving to people around you, you'll find that people will give back. The world will, in fact, look after you. You may not be rich, but what is wealth? I mean, this is the way I live my life, folks, and though I don't have a lot of stuff, I don't have a lot of money, I do have everything that I need in order to survive, in order to get these shows out to you every week, and to just get by in my life. I'm looked after because I give of myself. I give all that I can to people, and because I don't expect anything in return, everything just seems to fall into place and everything is provided for me. But see, what I believe that I'm doing by giving of myself to others is I'm providing them with the opportunity to give back. You see, when you charge someone for a service, you are not giving of yourself. And I've actually done shows about this, I think, where I've mentioned that what you're doing is you're turning people into a commodity so that they provide you with what you need, namely money. You're providing a service for them, and you think, well, this is a fair trade. I'm providing a service for them, so they're providing money for me. But you're not actually providing a service for them. You're selling a service to them, and you're demanding a fee for that service. Whereas I don't do that. I just give to people, and people give back. But if you sell something to someone, you deprive them of the opportunity to give. Of course, a lot of people won't give. And of course, a lot of people are uncomfortable giving of themselves to others because they are scared that the people they are giving to are simply going to take advantage of them and not give anything back. And so, of course, they're in the wrong energetic state right from the word go. And it's the same with when a person gives to someone, but they then believe the universe will look after them because they did give. Well, no, the universe won't, because they're expecting it to. It doesn't work that way. You have to have complete detachment. And I don't give because I expect anything in return. I give because it's the right thing to do. And I give because my intuition tells me to. And that is not to say that I give to everybody. I mean, I don't just walk around acting like a charity and giving money to every beggar on the street and giving to everybody I can and allowing myself to be taken advantage of. But there are certain situations where my intuition tells me that I need to give to this person, and so I do. And as far as the radio shows and the website and all that goes, well, I do all that for free because that is my gift to humanity. I mean, if I would like to wake this consciousness up in any way, well, obviously I need to lead by example. And as I've said before, I've also done it because I want people to understand that I don't do what I do for fame or fortune. I don't say what I say because I need to be treated different or want to be treated differently to anybody, or because I expect anything back in return. I say it simply because I believe it needs to be said. I have the ability to do so, so perhaps that's why I'm here, is to say the things that I say, in the hope that someone might listen. But again, even in doing so, folks, all I'm offering you is my perspective, because that's all that I ultimately have to offer. And I'm probably getting a little bit off topic there, but what I'm essentially trying to say, folks, is to help people understand the importance of re-establishing a gift-based culture, a gift-based economy. We really can achieve some wonderful things with the power of giving. And encouraging people to give simply because it's the right thing to do is the key. But again, I don't want to see people going and getting in trouble with this. I mean, Max told me to give, so I went and gave everything I have, and now everybody's taken everything I have from me and I have nothing. See, it doesn't work that way. You've got to not give to people because they are simply too lazy to give to themselves. You need to learn to communicate with the emotional field, the energetic field around you, and you need to learn to listen to your intuition, because your intuition will tell you what to do at virtually every moment of every day. It will guide you if you are simply open to the information, because it's always there. The field's always talking to you. You can always conduct your life in this way, but you have to be open to it. And I believe that if people were open to this type of information, and people were open to living their lives in this way, and they were open to this communication, this ongoing communication that's happening all the time around them, then things would be very, very different in the world today. I think that would be a very easy way to stop the powers that be in their tracks. In fact, I don't think the powers would be if we all operated with our full emotional capacity all the time. And folks, when you're giving to others, you've also got to make sure you're not taking from yourself. See, there is only one law of creation, and I've said this many times, and that is service to creation. And you've got to realize that you are also part of creation. So if you are serving others at the expense of yourself, then you're not serving creation. You're simply depleting yourself in order to serve others, and so you're out of balance. And it goes the other way as well. If you're serving yourself at the expense of others, then you are also out of balance. You're not giving to creation. So you are as valuable as everybody else. You are as valuable as everybody around you. And so you need to give to yourself as much as you give to others. You need to make sure that things are kept in balance. And folks, it isn't like you have to try to do this. You don't have to maintain some list or maintain some imaginary set of scales to keep things in balance. What you have to do is always be following your path of Dharma. Always make sure you're doing the right thing in the right way at the right time for the right reason. That's the way it works. And if you ask what is right, well, is it in service to creation? So you follow those simple rules and you find that your life simply unfolds before you and everything just falls into place exactly the way it's supposed to. You just follow the synchronicity. That's what my life is, folks. My life is one huge series of synchronistic events, and has been for a very long time now. And this is the way people's lives can work. This is the way your life can work, but you have to be open to it. You have to get this stress out of your life. You have to get the fear out of your life. Fear is the most all-pervasive weapon that's ever been used against us, really. And the fear comes from all directions. One of the most prevalent, of course, is economic fear. We are always in fear of not being able to pay the bills. And the other is the shadow in ourselves, the personal fear that we feel when we attempt to find out who and what we are, the darker side of ourselves. Very often we're also in fear of the power that we see there and the power that we hold, because we are very, very powerful beings, but very often we are very much in fear of ever standing in that power, very much in fear of being all that we can be. Because when you are all that you can be, and you stand in your own personal power, with that power comes great responsibility. And you suddenly become responsible for yourself, for your actions, for your deeds, your words, your thoughts, and for all that you do. And that can be a big shock for people. It really can. It can come as a huge surprise when you realize that there is no one to blame for any aspect of your life, because you have the ability to change it. We all do have the ability to change any aspect of our lives, folks. And of course, there are exceptions to this. You may be someone who is in prison or someone who is in a state of some sort of bondage, and your life is controlled by somebody else. And so it may be rather difficult for you. But in fact, even within such situations, you're also being provided with an opportunity to change things. Even though some of the methods that you may need to employ to do so may seem a little drastic. But perhaps with an overcoming of fear, these measures may be implemented anyway, and you may thereby learn the lesson that you need to learn. Because whatever situation we're in that situation in order to learn a lesson. I do firmly believe this, folks. I believe that all of the things that happened to me in my earlier parts of life, some of which were quite horrendous. I had quite a difficult life. I was my own worst enemy for a long time. And I went through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. At the time, they were quite horrendous, and I was severely depressed at certain stages of my life. But looking back on them now, I treasure every single one of them, because every one of them provided me with the opportunity to be right where I am now, because every one of them provided me with an opportunity for growth. I'm thankful to my own self and my own character that I accepted the challenges before me, and I embraced the opportunities they provided for me, and I did grow, and I became the person that I am today. But were I not to have gone through all of the trials and tribulations and all the negative stuff that happened to me in my life, I would never have been provided with those opportunities for growth, and so I would not be here speaking to you today. I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing today. I would not be who I am today were it not for all the trials and tribulations that I had to pass through to get here. So ultimately, folks, there is a silver lining in all the problems that you face, and all of them are opportunities for growth, and all of them lead you to a point where you will finally discover yourself if you are open to the information. And so life truly is a great gift, my friends. And I think it's break time here, folks, so I'll leave it there for now, and we'll go and have a break. Thank you for joining me on the show today, and I'll speak to you again in a few minutes.